of defiance from Rep. Richard Cohn. In direct contradiction to its Supreme Court ruling, Cohn orders steel doors to be installed at the entrance of the main legislative chamber, recognized by the court as legitimate, effectively blocking Speaker Kofi from access. This move follows a series of actions by Cohn and the bloc aimed at seizing control of the House. Despite the Supreme Court having ruled that all activities conducted under Cohn's leadership, including his self declared speakership, were unconstitutional. The court emphasized that any session held in Kofi's absence, while he was present and capable of serving, had no legal validity. Cohn's defiance has been consistent prior to the court's decision. He ordered the locks changed on the main chamber, forcibly removed Kofi's belongings from the speaker's office, and installed himself. He also directed police and staff to break into Rep. Yeke Koloba's car after Koloba parked in the speaker's reserved space at the Capitol. The chamber, now sealed with steel doors, had been the focus of a parallel power grab launch in October 2024, when the majority bloc relocated to the joint chambers and held an unsanctioned session to declare the speaker's seat vacant. Cohn was then installed as their leader despite losing the official House Speaker election in January 2024 to Kofi. The bloc, allegedly backed by elements of the executive branch, moved quickly to strip Kofi of security, seize control of House bank accounts, suspend loyalists, and assume authority over the draft national budget. These actions were later overturned by the Supreme Court in the landmark ruling by Chief Justice CIA Yana G. Yo. The court found that the speaker could not be removed while present and functioning, declaring the bloc's proceedings illegitimate. Still, Cohn has refused to comply, rejecting the ruling as a violation of legislative independence and vying to continue leading the House. No opinion or judgment of the Supreme Court can or will expunge or erase this resolution, Cohn said, referring to the controversy document declaring Kofi's removal. Plenary shall continue without any difference or regard to the Supreme Court's opinion and judgment. The bloc's continued defiance has sparked warnings of a full-blown constitutional crisis. Some members, including Bond County Rep. James Corley, have even raised the possibility of impeaching Supreme Court justices, accusing them of overstepping their authority. As the stand-up deepens, many Liberians are calling for a return to the rule of law and respect for the constitutional order. The coming days may prove critical in determining whether the legislative branch can stabilize or whether partisans' ambition will further erode the foundations of Liberia's fragile democracy. Esther, I think we can stop here and then send controls to you to bring us more developments.
Yep. We lost Gus and Aliyu, but I had to resend the link.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
hope those chaps can
So we
come back.
started the live over. So Gus and Aliyu, just check the link in your phone and you can join us again. Okay. So on the on my desk this morning we have the Daily Observer, and the top story here says majority black members on U.S. government's radar. It's a question for ignoring sanction against Chancellor Sherman, credible source says.
Hmm.
Yep, and we're gonna take some lines from this story. Okay, it's on page 10. Let's run here. It says the self-styled majority bloc by every indication has chosen to disregard the U.S. government's warning not to do business with sanctioned Liberian lawyer Councillor Vonnie Sherman, the bloc led by Rep. Richard Nambwe has reportedly been placed under the radar of the Office of Foreign Assets Control of the United States government for doing business with a man who was hooked by economic and political manipulations. A credible U.S. source has confirmed. The source indicated that following Sherman's threat as lead lawyer for Kuhn and Co., the impeached members of the Supreme Court majority bloc is scrutinizing the actions of members of the self-proclaimed majority group for potential breaches of the 2020 U.S. sanction. The U.S. sanctions prohibit individuals engaging in certain transactions with a sanctioned individual from facing potential sanction or enforcement actions. According to reports, expressed concerns that the OFAC expressed concerns after Councillor Sherman submitted a petition challenging the Supreme Court's declaration that deemed the removal of Councillor Funati Kofa as the legitimate Speaker of the House of Representatives is unconstitutional. In his petition, Councillor Sherman also threatened to impeach the majority justices of the Supreme Court, accusing them of instigating chaos and instability in the country. OFAC's role is to administer and enforce economic and trade sanctions in the linking with U.S. national security and foreign policy interests. While the sanctions primarily target US persons, they also address how non US persons could potentially violate US sanctions, which could include actions taken by the majority bloc. Implications of sanctions as a consequence of these recent developments. Any property in there, I hope that's where the completion is. Any property and interest in property of the sanctioned parties located within the United States or under the control of U.S. persons must be blocked and reported to OFAC. Furthermore, entitles owned directly or indirectly by blocked individuals are also subject to blocking measures. U.S. persons are generally prohibited from engaging in transactions involving the property or interest in property of sanctioned individuals, with few exceptions. Moreover, individuals or titles involved in transactions with the designated individuals may themselves face sanction or enforcement action. Additionally, foreign financial institutions facilitating significant transactions for the designated persons could potentially be subject to U.S. sanctions unless an exception is applicable. Well, let's leave you here, and we have a lot more story here from the Daily Observer this morning. So let's come back to the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. It says Rights Group wants War Crime Court Office mandate renew. Says President Walker should step up progress on justice for grave crimes. And that's there. Let's look at more. Tech Future takes ship at MTS 2025 as over 1,000 innovators or students brainstorm. Okay, and then we see Center Blast defiant government over Supreme Court's ruling, says stakeholders must respect the opinion of the High Court. But this story is on page 10. Let's come and take some lines from 8. Then we can run to other stories. Okay, let's bring us back on. Okay. So, where is this story? Okay, we have it. The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia has sharply criticized the government for its apparent disregard for the Supreme Court's ruling on the legitimacy of Speaker J. Funanti Kofa's leadership in the House of Representatives. The Supreme Court, in a landmark ruling delivered on April 23rd, 2025, declared all legislative actions taken by the majority bloc of lawmakers led by Representative Richard Kuhn as unconstitutional. The court's decision specifically declared that any legislative proceedings which Speaker Kofa was not presiding, despite his presence and capability to do so, were void. This included the election of Richard Kuhn as Speaker and the suspension of several lawmakers. The ruling was seen as a pivotal move to end the protracted political deadlock that has paralyzed legislative functions for months. However, the response from key government officials has raised concerns, while Minister of Information Jerry McPeer acknowledged the court's ruling and expressed respect for it. Representative Kuhn and several other members of the majority black have openly rejected the ruling, pledging not to adhere to it. Kuhn has maintained that his faction will continue to operate independently of Speaker Kofa's leadership. President Joseph Nima Bouaka, in his public comment, appeared reluctant to fully recognize the legitimacy of Speaker Kofa. Despite the Supreme Court's clear ruling, he expressed a preference for working with a quorum of lawmakers, some of whom are linked with Kuhn's faction, raising doubts about his commitment to the court's directive. Center, a leading civil society organization, condemned the government's failure to immediately enforce the Supreme Court's ruling. In a statement, Center called for full adherence to the Supreme Court's decision and emphasized the urgent need for President Bokai to sever ties with Kun bloc, which has been deemed unconstitutional. The group noted that continuing engagement with the Kun-led faction undermines the integrity of Liberia's democratic processes and risks setting a dangerous precedent for the country's constitutional order. By continuing to engage with the Kun bloc after the court's ambiguous ruling, the government is effectively disregarding the judicial authority of the highest court in the land, said a spokesperson for Center. This not only jeopardizes the rule of law, but also weakens Liberia's democratic credentials, which have made strides in recent years. Let's leave you there. We'll bring you to the back page of the Daily Observer this morning. LSA holds 56 convention as ambassador contact advocates for educational advancement. And that's it. Let's finally see the last story on the back page of the Daily Observer. Journalist Kanye urges Bouaka to intervene in Paramount Chief appointment crisis in Lofa County. So far, so good. These are all of the stories we are able to bring you from the Daily Observer this morning. Let's say controls to you, Wendell.
Thank you very much, Esther Daku. Do we have back our
So we
partners?
have Gus.
Okay, Gus
You're
is
back
back
on.
with us. And so, folks, we apologize. We lost our partners, but we've been told Gus is back. So let's just recap for you those stories we brought you, take our break, and then when we come back, we go straight up to the USA where Gus Koma is pretty rough and seated. So let's begin with the front page Africa. These are stories we brought you this morning. The top story siphoning government's portion. LRA misappropriated US 6.7 million government of Liberia share of medtech revenue. GSE audit finds. And it says here battle for quorum. Power struggle intensifies in House as Kofa and Kon camps lobby for majority support. And then Crush Hopes, rock crushers in Louisiana Township struggle for survival amid economic hardship. And it says here it claims at Accelermeter Liberia's 800 million board investment in real infrastructure, reshaping Liberia's economic future. Since 2006, Accelermeter Liberia has invested over 800 million in rebuilding the once devastated 243-kilometer railroad to US heavy haul standards. By 2025, operations have expanded to accommodate 5 daily iron wagon trains, each pulling 120 wagons, an unprecedented advancement for Liberia's mining logistics. And lastly, for the front page, Africa Majority Blocs Press Conference, marred by math mistakes and confusion. Counting crisis is a question mark. The majority bloc insistence on commanding 49 members, despite a visibly lower turnout of 31 lawmakers during their public appearance, immediately invited scrutiny. A confused roll call only deepened doubts, with absentee figures fluctuating between 10, 12, and 14. Ultimately, their math unreal, even at the most generous count, they still fall short of the 49 seats the claim and the two-third constitutional threshold needed to remove a sitting speaker. And then the Daily Observer, majority bloc members on U.S. government's radar is a question mark for ignoring sanction against Councillor Sherman, credible source says. And Teach Future takes shape at MTS 2025 as over 1,000 innovators and students brainstorm. And another story here says right groups want war crime court office mandate renewed. Says President Walker should step up progress on justice for grave crimes. And lastly, for the front page, Center blasts defiant government over Supreme Court ruling. Says stakeholders must respect the opinion of the High Court. To the back page, LSA hosts 56th convention as Ambassador Conte advocates for educational advancement. And lastly, journalist Canning urges Bwaka to intervene in Paramount Chief appointment crisis in Lofa. Folks, that does it for the front page Africa on the Daily Observer. Let's take our break. When we come back, we will join Gus Comande in the USA.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide it. So we start at the top. Someone's not going to plenty, but put it to each key. Be that living sense in hospital.
It's my music. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, you report it. Don't tell law in your hand, call the right authority. Tell it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human talking, enemy you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Oh yes, from the city to the interior, the stopping crimes for all of us, bringing safety to our doors. Also says Crime Stoppers Liberia. So, folks, we live in the shores of Liberia now and sending controls to the USA, where our man Gus Korma and Aliyu Masale is posted. Let's hear from you guys.
Ali, you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thank you then. Yes, for being the listening to all the stories. I'm just concerned about like this saga that happening in our country. Why are the majority bloc? Why are they still trying to sign another resolution? When those people said that for Nati Kufa he's no more speaker, they signed a resolution. They had a number of 50. They removed him. And why are they still struggling to get numbers to reach 49 to remove him? And they said they even said high above 50. So I'm still confused. That's the first thing. Again, President Baka already said he will continue to work with the quorum, the illegal quorum, the unconstitutional quorum. So why are they still looking for numbers? And why are they still asking for Nati to resign? To resign as what? Because you people say Rachel Kun are your speaker. You will not adhere to the Supreme Court ruling. When the Supreme Court came out with that ruling, you're even threatening that you're going to impede the justices on the Supreme Court bench. You say all of these things. You insulted them. Why are you people going back for re-argument to the same Supreme Court? You say what the Supreme Court is doing is interfering. So why are you people going back to them to interfere into legislative matters? So I'm just confused on this whole thing. Y'all say y'all had a number. Why are you people trying to sign another resolution to remove the speaker? The president already gave you the assurance he agreed with Supreme Court ruling, but he will continue to work with the quorum. And the quorum is the majority bloc headed by Richard Nangbe Kun. So I'm just confused what is actually happening in the country. And when I listened to one of their again leader for the family who said one of the justices statement was on liquor talk, when I listened to him and when he was asked right now they are trying to sign another resolution if they agree to recognize Speaker Kofa speakership, and he said yes. Okay, now you recognize him according to him for the family. Okay, now you people going for re-argument. Why if y'all go for re-argument and the Supreme Court say, okay, yes, we stand with what we said, Mr. Kofa is the legitimate speaker till you people follow the due process. Will you stay recognizing and agree? He said no. It's up to the Supreme Court to come and force Speaker Kofa on them. So why are you people going for re-argument? And even if the Supreme Court say their statement, their ruling, it remain constant, and you will not agree. So I don't really know. But all of these things happening because of the precedent. And when you talk, people say, oh, the president cannot interfere into legislative matters. President Baka is the one holding the country hostage. President Baka is the one undermining his own government. If President Baka was not to play, to take Mr. Kofa with him and tell those people to remove him unconstitutionally in his absence, all of these things were not going to be happening today. When Supreme Court came with a ruling, if President Baka was president enough, who came to rather improve our country, to rescue our country as he claimed, he was to make sure, oh yeah, Richard Kun, now everything you people did, the law said it was illegal, it was unconstitutional. You talk to your justice minister, your police IG, and you gave Speaker Kofa his immunity, everything back. If you feel play your part, it's up to him now to see how he can call his people to conduct quorum. If anything of such is not happening, then everybody will be looking up to him. But you still giving power to Rachel Fu and those political juntas, gangsters, and hooligans to keep undermining the peace and democracy of our country. See what happened yesterday. Rachel Fu, you not speaker. Why should you go put iron door to the speaker door? You putting iron door to the chamber. Why? Because these people can do anything because while they're getting power from the executive. Joseph Waka is the one supporting them. Going back to around LJ Hotel, that Liberian people money. You see, people children out of school every day crying for people to help them, misusing our country resources wastefully and uselessly. Now Joseph Waka is not talking. They when they place iron gate to the speaker's office, they place it to the Minchimo. If people from the speaker group decide to go and remove these doors, that's the time he will talk. That the place is not place for gangsters and hooligan, it's for responsible people. Now he's not talking. So everything is clear that Joseph Waka is the one holding the country on a hostage. It is not Fonati Kofa. Joseph Waka is the one supporting these people. And when we say in the stand that we, the Liberian people, make use of Article 1, they say we are inciting violence in America. They will go to the American embassy. If you like, go sleep to the American embassy. 5 o'clock in the morning, you should be there. Then you go for TV interview. You think we'll be in America, we incite violence in our country? Liberia is all we have. But President Waka can't campaign on respecting rule of law. The constitution that he took up to defend the constitution of our country to come today, there is no respect for rule of law. The constitution, he continued to undermine the peace and democracy of our country, to govern our country lawlessly. We can't sit and see that. We were talking on a daily basis. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Cos,
you,
let's go.
Aliyu. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead, Aliyu, to tell you that your understanding should be everything that was done was deception. All the explaining you did was basically come down to deception. This is what happened in when people are inept, when people are incompetent. The most important arsenal they have is being uncomfortable, being scared, feeling um, just feeling not comfortable. And this is what is being exhibited by our legislatures. Again, these people, most of these people in any real society should have no closeness to even running a family household. I'm sorry, because some of these people don't even run their own families. Okay, because if you understood how to be a family man, if you understood how to do those things correctly, you'll understand how to lead people. And this is where we're having the biggest challenges. The president himself has not done anything to protect and defend the Constitution of Liberia. Everything the president has done has been so bad that history or even his own family has to feel ashamed of him. Because you look at you look at where we are today in his administration, into the second year of his administration, and you continue to have these kind of sagas going on. Your ineptitude has allowed you to not even understand what had just happened at the court. Your ineptitude has allowed you to not even understand how important or how easy it is to resolve this problem. Resolution of this problem is not going to be by how far you go, because Speaker Kofa had made it clear that he wants to make sure that the rule of law is adhered to. And in that process, resigning outside of the proper chain of command of the proper process is never going to happen. So everything that they're doing is just being done to spend more of the Liberian people money, so that those monies that could be used on places that people, our citizens, will appreciate. No drugs in the hospitals, roads are dilapidated, police officers are getting paid peanuts, but yeah, Gregory Coma and his thugs are gonna put people out there. Like my brother stated, where in the world there's a group of people, this same group of people that accuse other people of burning down the Capitol, are putting in iron bars, only in the speaker office, only in the joint chambers. What is that telling you? It tells you all we need to know. All right, you guys go. I got a call coming from work.
Okay, thank you very much, Gus. I just like to summarize, before we can go to the lines. Esther, you want to chip in?
Of course.
Okay, let me give you the time because two men have spoken, and so let's come
Wait,
to.
wait, wait. Let me finish real quick. It ain't gonna take too long. I just gonna end this quick. Yeah. So
Okay.
in the end, what we see is this: the president and the executive have decided, and the unity party government, Liberian people, you guys need to know this. We told you guys these people have been all about just themselves, and this is what is being exhibited. The fact that those people can do those things. If any other Liberian in this world believe in their rightful mind, the minority black or rule of caucus people burn that Capitol building, I got land for you to, I will sell you land in Bonyama District because you stupid enough to be able to believe that. These people went and put iron bar in the most sacred places in our country. Nobody had ever seen that around the world. So we know for you to put that on, the security apparatus are supporting it, and all of those people are supporting those things. The security apparatus was there, and when this place burned down. So everything that has been done, we have to assume it's all been done to put impediments in front of the law, rule of law caucus to prevent them from having any kind of session in anywhere on that ground. So all they have been doing is doing things like that to make sure you, the Liberian people, don't understand their game. Their game is to get this thing by force. The only thing that they're not doing, they're not shooting at you yet. But they have already promised you, if you protest, they're going to shoot at you. But let them shoot at us because Child Trader shot at us. Unimo came and shot at us. All of them did. What are they still doing? Trying to lead us. So you know what, Liberians? We are calling on you. We need to let these people know we're not going to allow this. When Speaker Kofa is going to session, we need to follow him. Motorcycle boy, y'all call me. We'll get on y'all. Y'all come, y'all follow Speaker Kofa, y'all escort him. We will pay you guys to do it. Thank you.
Thank you guys for, your point. We've come here when they're on a daily basis. I think it's been several weeks we've been discussing this issue of our majority block, minority block, and all of that. But when it is first of all commendable that the so-called majority black have finally realized that Kun is not speaker, because if you will talk about a resolution to remove Kofa, who is the speaker, it means you do not have a speaker. That's the first thing. So I don't understand how you're running around and calling Kun speaker at the same time you think that you should now remove the speaker. This very thing we've talked about for several months. Go back under the gavel of the speaker, remove the man in a rightful way. Because this is a country of law. You cannot jump out of the clear blue sky and decide to implement your own things. No. Before you came there were others who were there. There were others who saw the need to have these rules instated into our constitution so that this country can be in order. And so you cannot just run out of the blue sky and decide that you can remove a certain speaker in the form and manner in which you're trying to do it. And then Winter, what baffles me is the fact that they went to the Supreme Court rule, and you come out, you say you can't listen to Supreme Court. And then you finally say you want to go back to Supreme Court Winter.
If there is Supreme Court, you don't have respect
I'm
for.
telling you, it's
Yeah.
almost like you have your two children, having a bitter argument
But
or
who
fight,
drunk now? And I then drunk.
Mm,
and I'm telling you, and they come to you with a complaint, you judge the case and say, "My man, you're wrong," right?
yeah.
And then you say you can listen. I mean, who is your mother? I
Or your
mean,
father
or your
talking to you to
father
listen
to
to.
say you know all of that. Then at the end of the day, you come out again and say you won't come back for them to read. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to us. I
Yeah.
don't know why you guys keep prolonging this issue. The Liberian people job should be your first priority. That's why you're there in the first place. with all of what going on, you are still taking pay.
Mm.
You should not be taking pay, Wendell.
Um,
Those people should their salaries should be
I
on hold
totally agree.
until they can start to do the people work. You're not working, by you proposing yourself as speaker, having men, surrounded and stuff. I mean, surrounding you and stuff like that. You're not working for us. You're only showing yourself. And so I think these people's salary should be whole window. They shouldn't be taking our money, our tax money we're paying. Let right now what's happening. People cars are being packed for registration.
mm.
And you have to pay this money. And this high-end money we pay, some
Goes
people
to
haven't
them.
some people
Yeah.
ain't even taking a window. But they
Yeah.
have to look for that money somewhere else to get their car registered, or else your car will be packed.
Yeah.
And when they tow your car, you will pay 150 US before you even come to think about registration
Yeah.
fees and all of that. You ain't thinking about all that ones. It is our high-end sweat that we use to pay you people. And you are acting like you the rich man and you the this and you the that.
Esther, this is
But 2029 is coming, Wendell. We are watching these people
Esther.
and we will
This
remove
We now
every
waiting for
one of you.
2029. We'll flog them.
Esther, you know.
Liberia is a
Esther,
gullible country. Liberia,
it's
we are in
it's
a gullible society. Those people will still be re-elected 2029. Trust me,
Esther,
some of them will be re-elected.
it's sad. It's
We
sad
hope
time.
not.
It's sad time for our country, you know, because those who we expect to respect the law are the very ones that are breaking the laws. If you can have somebody who is representing our district, can you imagine the thing I can get over for Richard Cohn to take steel door and go black?
I'm saying
Can you imagine that Liberia? Somebody like, what kind of country is this? And not one condemnation from I mean the president. And look, this entire thing that is ongoing in this country, the president is 100% in support of it. Nobody will call here or say to me, Wendell, the president knows nothing about what is unfolding. All right. In the first place, what we or I expected from the president after the Supreme Court came down with their ruling, what I expected from the president was, look, the law is the law. Richard, go under the gavel of Fonati Kofa. If you want to remove Fonati Kofa, or you who call yourself the majority bloc, you want to remove Kofa, you go in session and you bring all your case on the floor, and then you can start the process from there.
exactly.
You know, when I posted something on my page about the president should do the needful by recalling all of the security details assigned to Richard Cohn and reinstate them to the constitutional speaker, because that's the law.
Of course.
When we disrespect the Supreme Court, now who will run to the Supreme Court again? Who will run to the
The
Supreme
final
Court again
arbiter of justice.
if we disrespect the Supreme Court? So the hospitals are empty, no beddings, no drugs, no nothing, but they are dishing out money to lawmakers to get quorum. 20,000 plus 27, $30,000. All that money you can put it into road to open the country. So our country is just sad time for us.
Very.
We just got to keep praying.
Very.
And the people say, Liberian people, we can get taught. As soon as we go to bed, we sleep, we forget about it. But Joseph Boaga and his government, they really need pressure. These people need pressure. You saw what happened to Ruto in Kenya. The people took to the street for days. They were sleeping on the street, calling
weeks,
on
for
the
weeks.
attention of the international community to tell our president that, Mr. President, we must respect the rule of law. But this old man, he doesn't care. And one time I said it on this very platform that if people like us reach the age of Omen Bwaka, the only thing we'll be asking for now forgiveness. Because at that age, you cannot take hatred to your grave.
No, you don't.
You already live for 70 years that that God said we should live for. So when you surpass the 70 years, that grace carrying you. So you can't be keeping hatred in your heart, knowing the fact that you are closer to your grave. God forbid that. We're not saying that you should die. But when you pass that age, it means that you are going until the day you are called by your creator. So Omen Bwaka now should be, keeping peace in his heart. But We saw the old man disrespecting the past president, the past immediate president.
Mhm.
We saw this current president, showing him disrespect.
Of course.
The other day I was like, President, we have telling us, say, you ain't know that the people can't allow me to use the parks these days. I don't have access. We booked the park, and they said they had a program there. Can you imagine all these kind of things happening in the country? Then we say we want peace. This government does not need peace. The way the people are proceeding, you can see it. Look, we need to put these people feet to fire, because failure on our part to erect these checkpoints, we are giving these people room for 2029, because it's starting it. So if we can't correct it now, 2029, the people will have their own will. People will win election in this country. They will say, you win. That the precedent they are setting. So that's the precedent this government is setting. They just don't have regards for the rule of law, which is wrong. The Omen King, he started breaking down, turning positions, violating this one, doing the other one, doing the other one. People
No
cry.
respect for
I
the
mean,
rule of
what
law.
kind of country is this?
Absolutely no respect.
This president just came to what? Like he came to pay back, or he came to what? To put our country into chaos? Because these are signs of chaos. What we are seeing in our country, that thing that Khan did
Wendell.
to go put iron gate on steel gate. Can you imagine?
I'm telling you.
The country guys are just look. Why we kidding the Congo people then for nothing? Those noble people we executed on the pole for nothing, thinking that the country people will come to power and do the right things. But look at countrymen in power now. See what is happening in the country.
That's why when you read Animal Farm, Wendell, you will not just
Yeah.
trust people like that with
Yeah.
power anyhow, because you feel that they understand what it is to be at this level.
You
You
go
don't do
and
that.
read about Richard Henrys.
Wendell, first of all, the Liberian people
Let country
knew
finish, man.
this country. They knew
country
exactly
finish, man.
what they were putting their hands into. We saw
Man,
Baka as vice
man,
president for
so
two
sad
terms.
for our country, man.
Wendell, under Madam Tali, 2 terms. And then he, at the end of the day, he complained that every stuff was squandered. It was squandered the first 6 years you served under her. You could not wash your hands out of it, because you know that
Yeah.
she's squandering opportunities.
No wonder
You
why.
remain there.
No
This
wonder
old
why
man,
Man
Wendell,
CC can be
wanted to
saying that man
enrich
ain't nothing.
himself in his last days so that he will enjoy his life before he leave from here.
But we have rescued the old man already. So
he's rescued.
let's just
See
recognize
the old
few
man
people
card?
watching. One of Broadway finest is following this live broadcast. Emmett Hayes. Emmett, from where you are following, just don't know, but Emmett E. Hayes is following this broadcast. My sister in the US there, Josephine Sategmaya Misa, is following Dick's Heart. All of you watching, my nephew Dewey, Bernice, Dennis is watching from her office this afternoon. Esther, let's take a few comments and come to the cause, and then we go.
Okay.
Hey,
I hope,
Liberia, let's pray for our country, yeah, my people. Not easy, Liberia. Not easy.
this new stuff we have, I hope I'll be able to
Try, man.
see the names properly. You see how the names are halfway.
Mm.
And so I don't know if I click on it, I will see the name. Okay. We have Abraham B. Kuma. He says, I'm following from an iron factory community residence. And we have, uh, let's see who's this person. We have former OK Yan says, I'm watching live from Grand Cape Mount, Jenny, Liberia town. And then uh, we have Jonathan K. Baller says, I'm watching from the US. And we have, whoa, I'm not going to read this because I think we are not interested in such a comment window. Let's move on. We have, do we
But
get
plenty
past?
thing that we can get down to read all the thing that folks. But let's come
I'm
to the
telling
cause because all those
We are,
comments.
let me just jump over
Yeah.
that one. We
Kind of
have
long thing and you're writing. Yeah, no time for you.
Truth to Power says watching the need real resistance, and we have Clarence Dwyer. He says Sorry to say, but I think Liberian voters are the most senseless voters in the world. And we have Matthew Choloble says, I said it, Liberian people need to stand up and fight this Waka government. And we have, okay, we're done with that. We have Stanley Bowles who says, watching live from my residence. Why do you think they think it coming up here? I don't know why, but I'm done with that. And Stanley says what he's watching from his residence. We have Clarence, and Clarence says sorry to say, but I think Liberian voters are senseless voters in the world. Senseless voters in the world. We have Freeman Sylvester says I'm following you from Guinea, Kankan City, Guinea's second largest city. And then we have Sehi Jacobs. He says Liberia we need action. Let's stop the plenty talking. And let's see, I think so far, Wendell, these are all of the comments we have.
Okay, so let's get to the phone lines now and take your calls. We have a few more minutes to be here. We can take calls on the few minutes we have. We ask all of the callers to be that moderate. Don't take more than 2 minutes because we will not allow you. All right. Anybody call, you would not take more than 2 minutes. Please, we beg you. A minute is enough. Let's talk this person. Hello. Morning. Welcome to the show.
Okay, for administrative receipt, that is question me. I think where are no politicians, the political party, when Trump is out, political parties in a race, but this time we cannot find them. When the country no more, then they're coming back to become president in this country. So I think there's a question there.
Okay. Where are those political parties, right? The caller wants to know, well, we have almost 20 parties here doing the elections. Where are the stand-up bearers? Where are the parties? We can't see them. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, people.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Okay, when there is a vote of Sabu Rasta, I'm phoning in this afternoon from point 4 to be 27 in Zimbabwe.
Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Yeah, let me appreciate you, bro, for the show, and let me also appreciate Esther and John Bro, God in the U.S. You know, bro, let me be both of you and tell you what our president and what he's doing. Yeah, you know, bro, in La bro, my father told me that in La bro there are certain parts they call it the corruption part. Whenever you become president, they can take you and put you in that part. When they put you in that part, they can cover you. They can even see you. Certain part in La bro. My father told me way back, he said they get a part in La bro called the corruption part. And you know that in that part right now, the people take Boga, they put Boga in the part. So there's nothing Boga to do. You know that the people when they buy Boga less or car. You know, Boga want to ride Lamborghini, Boga want to ride Ferrari. So you will always see our president will tell you want to work for the quorum. How would either one Supreme Court declare this the quorum legal? I mean, illegal, they're telling us that you will continue to work with the illegal group. You see that we know, so our president for the corruption part,
Thank you. Thank you, Sabu Rasta. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Hello? Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
We'll be saying hello whole day. I will go from here now.
No, I'm getting you, but you are not getting me.
Go ahead now. Let's hear you.
Okay, Burma William Johnny from a cabinet shark district 13.
Burma.
Let me say thanks to the force in the US.
Burma, what you say you are facing for me? Eh? Burma, your line is so bad, oh. I don't know.
Let me call you back.
Yeah, please. Yeah, Burma, go ahead. I think you're better now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I tried calling you back after the show for the table, but I couldn't get you. As soon as I couldn't get you really.
Okay, you must call me.
After the show, I will call you.
Okay, please do. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. So, let me take you over a different discussion. You see, our lawmakers that call themselves majority black is like the Lagos talk that put the said that the justice minister or let's say the government of Supreme Court was on Lagos talk. I think they are the one that executing the Lagos talk. Because the Supreme Court rule, and you say you can't abide by the ruling of the Supreme Court, you can't honor it. But then why is it the Supreme Court that rule that you can't honor? But today you say that you want to vote today again to go get another or how to call it for them. So what will they tell you that you believe now? So in case you go, they put rule in front of Cuba again. Will you still not believe it or will you believe it? So I think our lawmakers them, but I don't believe no God. All the problems that will pass that will pass through in this country. I will blame our president. I can tell people if our president has supporting those guys, but now the problem that will pass through is solved. But because our president is supporting them, so that's the reason why they continue to clean the hotel and they continue to do what they want to do. Then they go to last, they build those. Joe Bagana said, Uriye. But when something else happens again, then you know they are all boys of Uriye. But when they launch those, we still running, they are not Uriye. Thank you for the time, William.
Thank you, Burma. Thanks for your contribution. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Hello, Wendell.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm okay. This is the voice of Peter Stein, and I join you from Stockholm.
Go ahead, Star. Let's hear you.
I think the survey have been carried out by the radio station. They have heard the call, and all of the callers are expressing disappointment in this government, are expressing willingness to stand against this government. But then, even the army need a captain to stay in the war. We need organizations. Some of us, we are Liberians and other not Liberians. Tomorrow, 2029 to come, I will not be on the ballot. I will not even be on the ballot. Political parties, some of them who were here yesterday, today we are not hearing them. We know some of them are already with collaborators, but there are some who say they are not regime collaborating. It's about time now that you stay with us, because Martin Luther King said, and I quote, "In his end, we will not listen to the voices of our oppressors. We will not hear the voices of those who are standing against us, but the silence of our friends, those who claim to be our friends. Their silence is what we remember.
Okay.
If you are for the masses, it's about time that you organize us. We are just in need of organization. Organize us to go to this war against constitutional democracy.
Okay.
This war against repression, dictatorship. We need to fight this war. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Let's go to the WhatsApp line and take this caller from overseas. Welcome to the show, Emmanuel Ma.
Hey, good afternoon, Emmanuel William. Good afternoon to my sister in the studio with you.
Good afternoon.
Hello, you hear me?
Go ahead, Emmanuel. We are listening. Hello? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, my brother. This is what happens if you elect incompetent people. You know, this is what we go through when we do these things. Well, I'm just saying. I called this afternoon to.
Emmanuel, are you there?
So I'm a voice to the many voices. I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. We are hearing you. Go ahead.
You got me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, yeah, Liberian. I want to the Kenya.
The internet is very terrible this morning. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thanks for your contribution. Let's take this person. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, William.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is my water. Without the guy, do people the women line up for me. I want to say.
Go ahead.
The women line track.
Yeah, but my water is not bad. Go ahead. You can talk from here.
Okay, I want to say good morning to Boss and Matale. I want to say good morning to our Majesty and Dali Dago.
Good morning.
I want to say thank you for the show. You know, when the one was saying this morning, all keep stepping. The minority black, we were a citizen of the rock justice. We got one representative that was totally 6 months both whole family, the people paid, and not
My Walter, you there? My Walter, you gone mute. What happened to your phone? Oh, my Walter, you gone mute. The other women then when you call, you must always remember Joyce too. Or you gotta say good morning to Joyce because she can always remember you too. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Hello, William.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, William. My name is Victor P. Cabo. Sergeant Plea. I do join you from Banking Factory to be precise, Africa.
Go ahead.
We also come ask myself question, why is it that we process less 1 year, that we took away over 300,000 human being life? And sometimes I also ask myself the question, why we keep winning our top of us? Because all of the things that we said that Toba was doing, rapid corruption, the all of these things are going on. International community is sitting and watching and looking at President Joseph Yimon Parker urinating on our constitution, and no one cares speaking. They want people get in the street and force people think that people may lose their life in that process. Maybe that's the time they will come out to speak. When George Manuel, we have a president of the Republic of Liberia, every time the international community, including UN, United States of America, having press conferences and saying all kinds of things about George Manuel, we have government. But today, President Joseph Nimo Breka is urinating on our constitution, and none of them are speaking, and none of them are saying a word. The Christian community remain mute, the Muslim community remain mute, and everyone just looking. They want people to go and start to damage people towards it, and in that process, some of our brothers and sisters will lose their lives. I pray for this country that these things that wants to happen, it must not happen. Let the people come together and engage President Joseph Nimo Breka to see reason to tell that his brother and was speaker to work along with the elected speaker who was elected, so that the parents should live happily and we should live peacefully. We pray for, we went to the ballot to elect a president that will want to take care of the Liberian people.
Okay.
We know why elected a president who will become a dictator and want the people to speak, and who will make Liberia be a police. It will be the order of the day. So Joseph Nima Breka, you need to have a second thought to make sure that the crisis in the house comes to an end. May God bless Mama Liberia and save our state. And we need you guys to still have a good and godly working day. Thank you.
Thank you too. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Hello.
No, I will not take you. I will not take you with that feedback. You call with that kind of feedback, you expect me to talk to you? No, not possible. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you live on the program from the Print News on Freedom FM 87.9. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Marvin calling from Downwater, Sahara.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
And yeah, when that my brother, every friend, they whole fight of the Capitol building. And I was here today, we can record. Only the president can and ask for it. But first of all, President Ouattara now respect the law in this country. He just talked about it. You can remember when Supreme Court came for all the people that you suspended. Supreme Court ruled in favor of those people. Why he did it that day? He suspended every one of them. So you want to tell the Supreme Court that I'm taking instruction from you. The rule of law today, like they preach, the rule of law, like they campaign on. They breaking the rule of law. So President Ouattara, only President Ouattara can solve a capital delivery. And you know when you solve it. So the would be in our law, and that is their end. So for me, I would say to Fanadi Kuvar, let him just for the sake of our country, let him just resign and leave President Ouattara and a group of youngsters that they do what they want to do in the country. So we look at 2020 now, if the Liberia if we're tossing the going back again 2020 now, fine. We'll be in a kind of mess. Our country is messed up right now. Now our people, our value now is value. Because we have no rule of law. Who they invest away in the car. So they just leave President Ouattara and Gambia, they just run a container where they're running it. Because they jumping on the rule of law, all the things they do out today, we just see nothing. Everything I get flat. Government are running Ashton and government. Ashton and government. Now what you do, you don't see it. They will just talk a year or breathe. So they will just say they're working at Ashton and government running. So this is a punishment that God gave us. Yeah, because we grab a Wahhabi leader, we take a leader on there, we get real ruler, so it's sweet for us. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
everybody this year and look at it now. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We got to go. And folks, that's all the time we've got to be here on this edition of the program from the Print News. And so let's get back. Aliyu Masali, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let's get your parting comments so we can go home.
Thank you there. Thank you. And thanks to all the caller. And to the last caller, thank you. I respect your opinion. But one thing I would tell all Liberians, Funati Kofa will never ever resign. He will never resign. He can resign. Nothing will make him to resign. When you want to say for the sake of peace, Liberia should move forward. That war should go to Joseph Wakai. If Joseph Wakai was not to mastermind the removal of a city speaker, all of these things, capital building getting born, this other one happening. But now we are not talking this thing. But because this man has nothing, he knows nothing about governance, about leadership ability. He came, he thought they work that was easy work. He have it on him. He came to destabilize his own government, to undermine his own government. So for people talking for the sake of people that think Kofa should resign, that's your opinion, but he will never ever resign. When you want to say for the sake of peace, you tell Joseph Wakai, God bless America, God bless Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gus is gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Esther, we got to go. Thanks to all of you. We'll be here, God's willing, tomorrow with the midweek edition of the show from the Print News, brought to you by Crime Stoppers Liberia, Exeter's Best Price Store, and Mayuba and Sons Incorporated. Until we are here tomorrow, take care of yourself and